Quorum these days? Six.
Quorum is 6.
Or, yes, so.
All right. I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is the September 3rd, 2025 meeting of the Climate Kingston Commission, and it is 5:21. And we have present Emily Chesson, Kat Carroll, Anthony Fitzpatrick, Patty Huber, Bertha Rivero, Jake Strauss. Kevin McAvoy is online, and I am present here, Julie Noel, and Dan Smith present. We have guests, Anushka Fetter and Bill Shuttlegreen. Betta is excused, and Melissa Iachetta will be here at 5:30, and I haven't heard from
The other guest, I missed that.
Phil and Anushka.
Oh, Phil, I know. Yeah, Phil, I can see. But the
Anushka is in the corner.
Oh, Ineshka. Okay, great. Okay, hi.
Hey, Betta. All right. So would you like to make any public comment for the record, either of you?
No, I just am more and more concerned about everything that's happening, so I decided to definitely make this meeting, so thank you for having this meeting.
Great. Any public comment? Great. All right, are there any modifications to the agenda? Here none? Oh, good.
Question.
Okay.
Is there a municipal plan upcoming or ongoing
Comprehensive plan?
comprehensive plan?
Yes.
Okay. Is that something we could add to the agenda?
Yep, we can talk about that under and land use. Sure. So D. Anything else? All right, then we will move on to review and approval of the June minutes. We did not meet in July, and we did not meet in August, and we are now here in September. We have a special meeting time. So the June minutes are the most recent. My only comment, Kevin, is Jake Strauss's last name only has 2 S's, not 3.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, that's an easy one. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, Jake. Yeah, we'll get on top of that, by the way. Yeah, I don't know how that went through. There were a couple of issues with the minutes you should know. With this last set, some of the text got lost and I had to reconstruct it. Something happened.
Okay.
Yeah, but I spent considerable time reviewing the slides to make sure I got that straight and make sure I got Mike's very short presentation in. Mike Helm.
Oh my
talking
God.
about.
Yeah.
On the refrigerants. Yeah. He gave he didn't have a full presentation, but he did talk about it.
Okay.
And slides, I reworked the text from the slides where applicable. So that we didn't use any data and we had all the zoning information in there.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other modifications to the agenda? Changes to the minutes? All right, if not, we need a motion to accept the minutes with the slight amendment of Jake's last name.
I move we accept the minutes.
Anthony, is there a second?
Second.
Roberto, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? All right, great. Thank you very much. Did you get that? Kevin, we can't see you. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Roberto, who is first? I heard, yeah, it got garbled.
Anthony and then Roberto.
Anthony. Roberto, I picked. Okay, very good.
Okay. Great. Moving on to organizational procedures. I don't have any new membership applications. Hi, you got reunited.
I've really got a range from 1A to.
Yes,
Yes,
so you are reappointed. And so we currently have one vacancy in voting and two in non-voting. And we haven't seen,
No,
yeah,
I think I've had some theories about how that if the next time we get a young person interested to maybe do maybe more of an onboarding session, make sure that their first meeting, we explain more,
Okay.
make it clearer. Because I think also just thinking back to like when I first started, so much is new, so much is unknown, and it can feel like a lot. But also young people are busy and they have I don't know, I'm sure it's mixed. I haven't heard from you. Okay, I'll try and follow it again. It might be a little.
Well, commissioners have to live within the city of Kingston.
no, none of this board. All right, so moving on to old business. We'll see if there's any check-ins on any of these focus initiatives, and I know that we had mentioned sort of doing a deeper dive into battery storage stuff today, or the battery storage facility talking about.
Yeah.
So let's first do solar readiness, EV readiness, and the website. Is there anything to discuss on any of those?
We met again and the three of us met and we basically like synthesized down to a few recommendations.
I wasn't able to send those around quite yet. But it's pretty, I mean, if we pull them up, if anyone has. Yeah, I have them, the email. It was like 3 things.
Yeah.
And it was, one of them was talking to the zoning board. About electric vehicle charging. But yeah, we have a list.
Can I just take a minute?
In the meantime, is there a website update?
So I meant to send that around as well. The text is there. I just need anyone to review it and give like a go ahead or some recommendations for changes. Julie, I know it would be great to have another person.
Is there somebody who would be interested in reviewing the website update? Text? Jake?
Jake, good. Okay, cool.
No. Okay, so you'll send it to them?
Sure.
Okay, super.
Anthony, did you also want to review or? I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah, fair, but.
Okay, cool. I'll send it to the 3 of you then.
Send it to us after we met last.
I
did it.
No, I sent it actually before then.
Okay.
So it's in everybody's inboxes somewhere. But
Everybody's
will resend
resend?
it. Yes.
Hmm.
It was a while back. I will resend it. Turns out I don't need to put it on my to-do list because it's already on there.
Should I be expecting something in my inbox?
Yes, let me.
Is it something you're gonna want me to share on the screen?
Yeah. I could also. Okay, expenses, yeah. And it's just gonna be the last slide.
I have not received anything. Okay. Take a minute. Or, oh. Got it. All right, which one am I opening?
Just the PowerPoint.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, so we just put down the last slide. That one is she, this one is done. Yeah.
Yep. That's what happens when you click through a thing and you don't know which one's the last slide. I don't know how I'm going to not do that again. Just gonna play this game and go slower. Maybe they stop now. What section are you looking in?
It's the last slide of the entire presentation.
But how do I know that when I'm in this mode?
Really quick it from outside.
Okay,
Okay, this one?
okay, so these were basically our recommendations, so but I'll just go one by one. So we talked about reviewing NYSERDA's best local government toolkit and identifying items for Kingston to consider adopting, including NYSERDA's model local law and NYSERDA's battery energy storage system model permit. So this is all just applicable to battery energy storage, and then we just had some like notes and follow-up questions for each of them. So I guess I'll just go through each of the recommendations and then we can discuss.
Sure.
So then the next recommendation was we thought some discussion with the building staff helpful to just make sure that they're aware of the recent updates to the statewide fire code. Or they are, but this state just updated or state just adopted an updated version of the uniform electric code and fire prevention code, which includes all of the battery energy changes to battery energy storage requirements to try to make it even safer when installing these types of systems. And so then therefore, like the city of Kingston should just automatically be enforcing those new codes with the updated code.
When you say building staff, you mean building safety? That the building code enforcement?
Yeah, the
people?
code enforcement people.
Okay.
Yes. And then we had a couple questions around permitting fees for, or a question, we just wanted to go over the permitting fee for the residential battery systems and clarity on definition of commercial battery. And then one thing we also wanted to discuss was maybe requesting a separate online permitting application for residential battery systems. And you could use NYSERDA permit as reference. And obviously, like with the building, the code enforcement officers would be the ones who'd be enforcing a lot of the things if the model permit, the local model permit is dodging. And then another recommendation was to then speak with the zoning board, was our thinking, to discuss further inclusion of EV charging stations in the zoning code. And EV charging station permitting and inspection process with the building department staff. Oh, that maybe should go.
For that one, I'm sorry, I know you said we were gonna discuss.
No, that's okay. And then the final one was speaking with Bartek potentially to understand how to work within the conformity zoning code for kind of. We're just not as familiar with what is updating this. Recently updated.
Great. So you want comments now?
Sure. Take go. Unless you guys want to add anything.
Everybody reading off the slides.
Just very first thing is, what is the differentiation between talking with the zoning board about the inclusion of EV charging stations in the zoning code versus talking to Bartek about the zoning code?
I think we were just gonna talk to Bartek first, kind of like
Okay,
informal conversation, like understand, and then maybe talk to the zoning board about whether they would be interested in updating the code.
okay. I don't know that the zoning board has that authority.
Oh, okay.
I don't, Kevin, can you speak to that? Are you there? There's a zoning update committee
Uh-huh.
called like zoning update committee.
So maybe we would want to talk to them instead.
I would start with Bartek.
Start with Bartek.
I would start with Bartek and understand the process.
Okay.
On the city's calendar, there's a planning board and a zoning board of appeals.
Yeah.
Is that one of those?
That's what I'm saying. Our zoning board, I don't think is the entity that deals with changing the code. Zoning task force. Kevin said zoning task force.
Okay, so there's the
task
zoning
force
board of
was my
appeals,
zoning
which,
update committee. people.
yeah, so there's the zoning board of appeals, which deals with like individual questions about specific properties. There's,
But I don't think they had it. I don't know if they had it. Please try it again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I think I was muted. Yeah, the zoning board is the ZBA. They only hear appeals. That they're not the people to talk to. The zoning task force would be the people to talk to, and Suzanne meets with them. Suzanne Cahill at planning and Bartek. So if you start with Bartek, you're good, and if you want to speak with the zoning task force and include Bartek, you're probably good there too. Does that clarify?
yeah,
Yeah.
Right. Sorry about the tech thing happening.
Terry,
We're good now.
we're good now.
Yeah.
That was my only high level cursory comment in addition to the, when you say building staff, you mean building department.
yes.
And then what is, do you want to go walk through this stuff? Or should we be reading that on our own?
Those were kind of just additional pieces that we pulled from the slides. About what we might want to talk to them about, like talk to each of these. folks
Yeah.
about. But,
Well, I see that you have a reference to the comp plan.
yeah,
And this gets to your question that you're asking about the plan.
Yeah.
So, find out when the city's data office. So we just applied for a grant to update the comp plan. Did we just apply for a grant or did we get a grant to? I think we just applied for a grant. I think that was one of the CFAs this year. Probably they were here to confirm that.
Yeah, presently, I think the planning department is looking for people to serve. Oh, no, that's on the LWRP. Forget that. I'm talking about the LWRP.
I'm also combining them because our original intent
Yeah,
was,
yeah, right. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, look back to comp plan. Yeah,
it's okay, our original intent was our LWRP, local waterfront revitalization program.
right.
Grant was gonna cover that and the comp plan, and it didn't, so we had to apply for subsequent funding. The long story short, the current comprehensive plan is Kingston 2025, with the intent that we would be redoing it this year,
mhm,
or by this year, that obviously didn't happen.
mhm.
So the short answer to that is soon.
Okay. So it would make
Soon
sense
is
to,
relative, but probably next year, I would guess.
yeah, it would make sense to probably further review the local government toolkit, like
Yeah.
here, because we know it exists, but we haven't like looked at it. And maybe talk about it with the building staff in regards to the model permit for the energy storage systems. And kind of see what their thoughts are and kind of start socializing the idea a little bit so that we can include some language in the comp plan in its next iteration, because all of this is gonna take time, but.
Yeah, and I actually think that this board will probably want to take a comprehensive look on the at the comp plan, like as a whole.
Definitely.
There's gonna be other things, but certainly this could be the beginning of this. Do you have examples of like other local communities in New York State that have already adopted this kind of permit?
Yes, I don't know them off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't think there's a ton,
We could,
but there are some.
If there's like a city,
There is
reasonable like size, that would be a higher argument. For like, hey, we were doing it. It's not in the book, just for the record. But I know, but like,
I'm sure that there's someone who's adopted it, but
Yeah, there are. Yeah, so what would be the best way for us to kind of review what it says and
review what it says. The comp plan? Review what it says.
well, I think we were gonna review the the local law, the toolkit, the model permit, like any of the information in there and get information on who else has adopted it, like who's other municipalities who've adopted the local law.
Okay, so review the toolkit and identify items for the city to consider adopting.
Yes.
That's the action.
Yes, that's the action that we are suggesting. So we could go back, review, and then basically come back and say like, okay,
Yes,
meeting, this is what we think
yes,
the city should do, and
This is
here
the
are
menu.
some other, bring some examples of other municipalities who've done.
yes.
I think that would be a productive use of time. And then the other two, the building staff and zoning staff pieces. I'm particularly interested in the, talking with the zoning board about electric vehicle chargers. Piece. But maybe we can like divide and conquer on some of these tasks. I'm not sure what the overall approach should be.
So. What is the value in? Is this saying, so this, the words say, further inclusion of EV charging stations in zoning code with zoning
Board, yeah.
task force to discover further information.
Yep.
What is the ask? What do we want to be achieving that we already don't have?
So basically, it's been a couple months since I looked at the zoning code directly. But I mean, those slides are in this PowerPoint as well, but my understanding is that there isn't detailed information included in the zoning code about electric vehicle chargers being an allowed usage. So we would want to explicitly make them an allowed use within the city of Kingston.
Okay, I understand that, but would we want to do that in every transect?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying the omission of it, we want there to not be an omission of it.
yeah,
We
we
want
want
it
it
to
to
be
be, we want to explicitly
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's a differentiation between level 3 and level 2. Charging stations where level 2 are like the ones you would put in at your house if you wanted a faster charger, and then level 3 are like the big ones. And so the non-form-based codes that I've seen have had a differentiation between where things are allowed for level 3 and where things are allowed for level 2. If that makes sense.
And is the intent to differentiate around the city where level 3s would be allowed? And why?
Theoretically, I don't know that it's fully necessary. I know some larger jurisdictions have considered it because they don't want people installing level 3 chargers just wherever. They kind of want them only in like publicly accessible areas.
Why
So-
is it funner?
Well, theoretically, they're expensive to install and the interconnections are sometimes quite expensive to the electric grid. So like you might not want one in a parking garage that's like private usage because it just wouldn't get that well utilized. If that makes sense.
Isn't that a practice as opposed to like a policy? That's just like a. We don't need to go down the nitty gritty here, but. I guess what I'm getting at. I'm not getting at, I haven't said it yet. Is that. My impression of the zoning task force is that. I'm not sure they're going to have a strong feeling for or against, or even have ever considered EV charging stations. And Bartek might just say something like. There will be a process, or there is a process where if you want to see something, you can present this to them, but like, well, I don't want to. Sure, yes, go to the. Okay. But I guess I want to be clear what we're actually asking.
Yeah, and that's why the first like step is like exploratory conversation with Bartek
Okay,
before we would present anything to
Okay.
the zoning.
great. So. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then I think the online permitting application for residential battery systems. Under talking to building staff. I think that could be included in our general like review of the model permit code.
Yeah.
So. I kind of think we can consolidate
Yeah,
1 and 2 into one thing for right now.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and if this were like, if we were to liken this to how it went down with the solar permitting.
Yeah, how did that work?
So there wasn't any specific solar permitting. My office basically worked through the entire solar permit, developed took the permit, modified it to our specs. Put together a web page, like created an actual permit, did all this, and then was like, hey, building department. We would like to be doing this,
And they were good with it?
and they were good with it.
Okay.
And maybe that is because it was streamlining the process of something we were getting a lot of requests for. This. In the not being likened to it, we probably are not getting a lot of requests for residential battery systems. I have no idea.
It's scary.
No,
I
I knew
know.
whatsoever.
It'll be, I know there are some. Like I know that the city of Kingston has done them before because I have like a friend who lives in the city of Kingston who has a battery. But I also know that there's the NYSERDA residential storage incentives that are coming out. And so I would expect that there will be more in the future with those incentives being around.
That would be just for residential.
Well, there are other incentives.
For the whole.
Yeah, my only thought with this one, a thought, stop caveating everything, Julie. A thought with this is that. Is the timing of this sensitive?
Yeah.
And how do we navigate the sensitivity of that?
Right.
I wonder also, do people, is there any permit that you have to fill out now if you're putting in a battery? Why do we want a permit? What is the permit for?
I would think that massive battery storage is going to involve a fire.
Right, like big,
So-
but like residential battery.
Maybe residential batteries, I don't know, but if we're going to do like something in the city, we're going to have battery storage for more than a residential, because residential battery storage is not very high voltage. But if we're going to do like battery setups, then we would probably have to involve the fire department as well.
Good practice for residential would still be permitting and inspection because it's something that you're installing and connecting to the electrical system.
Yeah.
The larger scale systems, which is not what we're talking about with this. Are like have much higher requirements for fire safety. Like they have to be inspected by like state inspectors and things like that. So, but
But wouldn't we want to also have a permitting process for that?
yes, I need to read the code and like better understand it yet. I don't work specifically on this, so, but
Usually it just defaults to the underlying zoning code of the. Like of the area.
but if we want to consider that, I like that's something to raise here and.
I think we just thought that there's likely not gonna be any large scale batteries. city.
Yeah.
Kingston. It'd be more.
Why would you say that?
I thought we had just didn't have enough discussion.
I guess, I mean,
Is it
they're,
like-
they're different than large scale solar, but it does require like a electrical, like a 3-phase connection a lot of the times. And so like you'll be more likely to find them in rural areas, I would say.
But anyone in Ulster right now that, is that gonna close?
Right next to Kingston, Kingston's not.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a large area, but you could reclaim a site like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
theoretically, maybe we do need a process for large scale systems as well.
Maybe
That's like you wanna like create a process for something that doesn't exist yet. And it might not exist, or do you want, or spend time on that, or not, and just wait until it arrives and then figure it out, or yeah.
It sort of seems, I mean, kind of the hot topic, or
Yeah.
the elephant in the room or whatever. It seems like if there had been a process established before all this, this would be a little bit simpler
Yeah,
as opposed to it being a
I
sort of-
always think being proactive would be
Yeah.
like a good thing.
in which case it would be Tyler.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that the
Partial
model,
is that.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that the model permit is just for residential, but I'm not entirely.
Permit, I think, is for residential, because I think for the large scale systems, you're gonna have to go through secret.
Yeah,
So
it's like a-
going through, yeah, it goes through the local permitting process where usually the jurisdiction that you're citing your project in takes I forget what the
Jurisdiction.
takes the agency, yeah. So you wouldn't go through, it's a much more lengthy permitting process
For
for the large
large
scale
scale.
systems. So the unified permit is really just for residential, just like residential size systems, small commercial, but the law, your local law is what is going to determine how those projects will be treated. So right now, in like any setback requirements you maybe want to have, so like with this town of Ulster project, I don't know how much their code speaks. I don't think their code speaks about your energy storage rate. So the developer is relying on the underlying requirements within the town's zoning, right? So I believe it's in an industrial use. So most of it is, part of it is also residential. All that is to say, yes, we could be correcting. Do it for the entire. So I think what you would want to do is you would want to adopt the local law, which is going to define your system types and how they would be treated by the city of Kingston. And then you could, for the smaller size systems, for the residential systems and small commercial systems, those would probably fall under the model permit. It's like with solar, like, it's 25 kW and below is the model permit. Anything larger than that doesn't go to the model permit. Through the local, whatever your other process is. I think I forget what size the battery, I think it's like 600 kW, 1 kilowatt hour size system, that's what they use in the model 10. So the town of Ulster project.
Yeah.
Well, I am advocate for us addressing both residential and commercial. And I think that the timing is extremely right / perfect for us to be
Yeah,
doing that.
I mean, I think it would be good. I think it'd be great if the city would kind of be interested in doing that. Seeing what.
Yeah, I will just be clear that I am interested and I don't represent the entire city.
Right, if the commission is interested in doing that and then seeing where it goes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
The AC, the building safety AC is a small uptick because of federal tax credits that are
Expiring. Yeah.
expiring end of this year. So
Yeah.
people may, including one person, maybe question to put in the battery system. So
but there will be state incentives after that. There won't.
see how big it is.
I think
They're out, they're available. It's not gonna make a difference, right? The state incentives kind of like
Feel a little bit more attractive.
It's 30%.
Yeah, I know for sure.
Energy storage is, I don't know about for residential, but I know the tax credit's not going away for energy storage.
Maybe
It's
large
just for
scale,
solar.
for residential, it's not.
It's just residential everything. I get residential solar is good.
So wait, you
So, but-
made updates to the zoning and the local law for the battery storage. I would expect people in the city are gonna be just as terrified of it as they are in Ulster. Is there anything that we can do about that?
Taking this on is sticky. And
It is
would
sticky.
require clear education and experts to speak to it and support from the administration and the legislative branch to be working on this. But there's nothing that says that Climate Smart can't start doing the legwork and the research on it. That is this is the group that should be doing it.
That's like the remit of the
Yes.
organization.
Yeah.
And presumably it would prove this work. If it turns out that the battery storage systems are very dangerous, then what we would decide on would be like, oh, to get one in the city of Kingston is gonna be very, very hard.
Right.
So it's sort of, I feel like, yeah, it seems like a good idea.
Right, I think it's a level-headed approach, but I think there's been a lot of fear over the 3 big fires that were all at like much older installations, most of which were out in California, but there were some, I think there were a couple in New York as well. But I think like with the new standards that are being put out, and new understanding of just how to design systems so that you're not putting all of the batteries like really close to each other so that they can kind of cause like a cascade. Like, I think that there are design changes and process changes that have made things much safer.
We did a really good webinar. You all. I don't know if it's something we can post on the Facebook page for education, but it was really good. Bill Overcare from NYSERDA presented. He's a clean energy siting person, and he went through a lot of the misinformation about the fires, and no like real contamination was found. Nobody was really injured. Firemen can't actually go inside. They have to stay outside of the fence and help control the fire, but they can't put their lives at risk because they're not allowed to even go in facility. And so there's just a lot of misinformation that he was able to like really articulately, like point for point, combat. And the new fire code addresses thermal runaway, which is like the biggest fear and opposition of thermal runaway causing an explosion.
What does thermal runaway mean?
I don't know how to explain it. It's basically when you have,
It's a short in the lithium battery where it just,
like overheats and
yeah, it expels like all this voltage and amperage at once. It runs the limit. Basically like a short.
This
which
was
can cause a fire.
Yeah, fire, overheating fire.
Overheating it. But yeah, there's a new fire code that this fire commission met for like a whole year.
Right.
Had fire experts develop the code, and there's a new, I have the presentation up right now, there's a new, what is it called?
Uniform code.
Yes, it's this UL 9540A is the performance test method to evaluate fire characteristics of a BESS that undergoes thermal runaway. So that's a key, like to make sure that the project is using that UL 9540A thing that came out of this fire code. Replicating.
The other thing to take into consideration is that usually batteries go along with solar systems, and they're putting, it's companies big companies that do this, and they do a lot of this, so they're probably pretty good at, putting these combinations together. And I guess they would be the ones working with the city, right? In other words, codes, not the individual homeowner. Well,
Yeah, well, I know we're gonna get to the topic, but the thing with like TerraGen is that they did have a public information session to explain the project, but they didn't really do a good job of outreach and really inviting key organizations, or like we could have stuff out to our network, we didn't even know about it
Did
until
they
it
already
already
talk
happened.
also after they already submitted all of their?
They might have, it was in like July and
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they
so-
had already said, I think, I don't know for certain, but I think part of the issue could also be is that they basically submitted for their project to the town of Ulster, and all of a sudden it's just like in April of 2025, just like submitting all of their documentation and start the permitting process, and they hadn't done any outreach. They were kind of just like, honestly, that is how people develop projects. Like they just are going about, they're concerned about their landowners, getting their land control, understanding their protection costs. They're just kind of going around their business. So what they did is not wrong. How a lot of people develop projects. Just given what's been going on with battery storage in the last 2 years or so, I would say that's not necessarily like best practice from a communication perspective. You might want to get out before you submit your permitting information and do some active outreach.
Yeah.
To get ahead of it. Yeah. And so what happened is they didn't get ahead of it, and they submitted the April 2025 meeting, and then I think word started getting out. There's this large battery energy storage project being proposed, and information then started coming in all different directions. So now they're where they are.
Yeah, and so whether they're like responsible for giving certain information about their project or hosting community meetings. Are they doing a good job of that, or like a holistic job, I think is another question. To just, to build on it.
Yeah, I haven't been following that closely, but my understanding is the concern is the site and how close it is to residential neighborhoods. And that if there was a fire or some sort of issue, how would that impact these people? And that right now, people who are closer do not feel like it's safe. And going to be more risky than beneficial to protect. I don't know what the town's position.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm gonna deep dive. I don't know, I basically, got on the opposition group's Facebook page. And the main opposition group is from Hurley. Because they're a local community that could be affected if there was an explosion. And they keep saying that it's misinformation, but that like if there was an explosion, chemicals would be released into drinking water. Because the aquifer is right near the plant proposed project. And so they think all their water is going to be contaminated and soil is going to be contaminated. It's the Hurley group that's very well organized. They have money for signs. Anybody who wants to come up and pick up a sign. They're meeting regularly, multiple times a month. They're providing food and like a tailgate party. They're going to the Ulster planning board meetings, even when it's not on the agenda. They really.
There's a map going around that shows it gave like 5-mile diameter circle around, and it's like, this is the area that'll have to be evacuated if there's a fire.
Is that?
Is it true? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the source is, I don't know if it's true.
But what is the truth? Like how if.
In terms of evacuation?
Yeah, and like contamination, presumably there would be a lot of contamination of.
Yes.
Possible runoff.
I mean-
by plant.
I think that's like what a lot of people think is that there would be a lot of contamination.
That's right.
And according to Bill, I don't know, from the fire that did happen, they did extensive reviews. There was one fire he said in the presentation that they excluded because it was in a different scale or involved something different, so they are independently reviewing that site. But there was no serious levels of contamination found at any of the fires.
Not yet.
Do you know what type of batteries these are?
Lithium.
Lithium ion.
Okay, I thought there was something different.
Just a lot of them.
The miners, yeah, a lot of them.
There are other types of batteries, but I think the proposed installation is pretty
Yeah,
standard.
but lithium ion is right now, that's the main.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's tie this together here. So we have three things at play here. One is the residential battery system and the action to take. The second is commercial battery systems in Kingston and the action to take. And the third is an open discussion about a local community that has a proposed project. So for the residential battery, there's an existing model permit. We don't know yet if we use a permit or if we need to, but we should is what the best practice is. And so the goal would be to speak to the building department to see what currently happens, how many do we currently have, would a permit work out, how would that work? Could you use this permit? These are examples of other communities that do it.
Yes.
For the commercial, I think it would be the same thing. Find examples of other places that have commercial permits. What would that look like? How do we get ahead of that? Is there a thing? Do we want to entertain it at all? Does our code allow for it? Does it not allow for it?
Yeah.
Right?
So basically we need to do that research as like a next step.
Shouldn't that, if a company's gonna do a residential installation, shouldn't we have inspectors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell you, if you were to go, there's no mention of battery storage in Kingston. Go to the permit, there's not like a clean place. It's gonna be an electrical upgrade, kind of like a panel. It's gonna get treated like a backup generator,
Which
which is going to have to be, you don't just say that, hey, put one in and okay. You're gonna have to supply a standard drawing from electrical engineer. Because that's what the building department's going to want to see. So they're not the end all be all on the methods or how, but they're just want to say like, this was designed by a professional, it's stamped, it's insured, and maybe like then the liability is on the engineer if there was, or those manufacturer of the product because you can provide all the specs.
So like there is,
They're basically trying to unload liability from. Yeah, they're doing their due diligence as a building safety office, but things that they're not electrical engineers and they're not designers, so they're going to take the plan to be submitted, like, by an electrical engineer. And that's okay, cool, get a professional.
so there is a process and there is a review and there is an inspection afterwards. And so,
Because you're gonna, when you go to the permit, you're gonna say like, this is an electrical upgrade. And they're gonna say, before we can close the permit, it's the electrical inspection from. What's their license number?
but
Just
there,
like any rough in construction.
but it's definitely not super clear in the online process, of,
No,
like how to do that.
it's not,
So
it's not called out.
It could be improved.
Sure. So is that enough actions for those two things right now?
Yeah.
And then related to the Town of Ulster project? Just to be clear, this is not in the city of Kingston,
Well, yeah.
nor is it under our jurisdiction, but city residents that are concerned.
It says the site lies within the city of Kingston School District,
That is true.
which should be considered an involved agency if public subsidies like a pilot they are sought. And so then there's the KingstonCitizens.org group, which has information about their review of TerraGen's proposal and information about like the town of Ulster board issued a letter of intent to serve as lead agency under seeker. But basically I'm gonna have a meeting with the KingstonCitizens.org soon, hopefully to see like, they're not really supporting or opposing, they're kind of just like, let it go through this process and let's see what happens. But we're pointing out things we've seen, whereas there's an opposition group who's adamantly fighting against it. And I'm not seeing an agency or a coalition or anybody keeping up and combating that. Opposition, not saying
Seemingly not
that
even the
we're,
company,
what?
seemingly not even the company
Yes,
doing anything to combat the opposition.
yeah. I mean, their website even is just really not good.
Whose website?
Terrigen, the project developer.
And what is the role of Climate Smart in this?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of talk about. I don't know. We're not.
I mean, spreading that, just like making that PowerPoint available, is that sufficiently
Put it on the website.
hands off and educational?
That's a start. I do wanna say like, Sarah Hanna's office has gotten a lot of calls about the project, people being worried. They asked us for resources. We gave them like a bunch of FAQs they can point to. People are calling Ulster County Executive Jen Metzger. And so now like they're worried because their constituents are raising issues. And so, yeah, I'm still like a little confused on if we should, even at NYCP, like, do we go public saying we support this project? Like knowing the developer was not doing it in a holistic way, but a lot of what the opposition is saying is misinformation. And I can't find any like real reasons not to support the project, if that makes sense. And I don't know what you found. Do you feel like there's any real validity or because it's in a residential area?
I have to be careful about this one.
Yeah.
So. I don't know.
It's a specific project and maybe what we can do is.
I just think getting the actual, like, I think the role is to get information. If the commission wanted, the commission like thinks, the commission reviewed the, learn about battery energy storage. And then felt more confident and comfortable with the information about the technology, what the risks and benefits are. And then I don't know if the commission ever supports projects. I don't know if the commission wants.
It's outside our purview.
It's not within the city's purview, so I feel like that might be a little too far, but.
So thinking back to precedent, and
Yeah.
Kevin and I will have to think of this collectively, of other circumstances where there were projects or proposals outside of the city, but we felt like it had an impact on our city in some way. So like CAC majorly took on Niagara Bottling, which is free all of you, but Niagara Bottling is a water bottle company that wanted to bottle City of Kingston water. We have amazing water. They wanted to bottle it. And the CAC held our largest gathering ever. We had like 300 people in that room. Just to like, this is information about it. Ultimately, they ended up not coming. So that was something that the CAC got involved in because they were bottling our water. But
CAC
the
was-
plant itself was not going to be in the city, but they were gonna bottle our water. We have, Kevin, help me remember about other projects outside of the city of Kingston.
I know there's some community solar projects in other towns outside of Kingston. I don't know if there was ever controversy over them.
I mean,
Well, like, what about the peaker plant?
Yeah, that was in the glide path. That was never built, but it was in the town of Ulster. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of us attended that. I think John Wackman attended it with me. Yeah, back then, and yeah, that was around 2019.
What
And they
about-
didn't proceed. They still own the land, but they haven't done anything.
we said we supported that. It was a New York State thing, not just.
So project related.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question for those of you who have been paying more attention? Why are they building this battery plant? Like, are they buying grid electricity and selling it at a higher rate?
Yes.
And some other thing. So it's not actually renewable energy related.
Well,
Well,
it
it
bolsters.
provides grid stability and reliability and resiliency when needed. But yeah, I mean, usually you're citing it, the company is citing it there, because they've decided from an economics perspective, it makes sense to cite it there.
Right.
And it will be the largest in New York State
Will be.
As of now, like it's as of now, the largest proposed.
And even if there's no specific relationship with renewable energy generation, it's the existence of a large battery storage. So it allows for renewables to be slightly less intermittent than they otherwise are. Right? So just the existence of those two things at the same time makes the renewable energy more useful because it doesn't have to be provided when the sun is actually shining.
Right,
And
so
also,
we have
like-
such a small, like our renewables here are so small, like outside of hydro are so small that presumably it just, that electricity gets used immediately the second it's made.
Right, but it sets out the future. And the other part is, speaking of peaker plants, those are the most polluting type of energy generation, right? And they turn on when demand is so high that all other resources are already in operation. So having battery plants allows you to smooth that curve out and be generating and providing power from less polluting plants, right? So that you don't have to turn on those peaker plants at the.
So it's like several moments in, all of a sudden has spike in demand that maybe they weren't predicting. This battery energy storage will basically be sitting there and they can call on that battery storage project to say, hey, we need more electricity now.
Right.
Dispatch. And then they'll dispatch electricity in the grid and then that then maybe means that a peaker plant doesn't need to be called on because the battery energy storage project is there to do it. And yes, just dispatching the electricity that it pulled from the grid back into the grid at the time that the utility says they need it. And then they're making money by just being available for those times when the utility needs it.
So they're not gonna be producing batteries, they're gonna be storing capacity.
Yes.
Yeah, the word, people have been confused about what battery plant means. It's not a battery manufacturing plant.
No.
It's a place where batteries are made.
It's many large lithium ion battery containers that are basically stacked in a row. And they sit there and they will pull electricity from the grid and store it when the cost of it is low.
Yeah.
And then they will then when you're just working regularly, they're gonna be dispatching it out to the grid when electricity rates are higher, so hopefully they're making some money off of that. And then they can also be available for when the utility needs them to provide capacity
Or when there's,
when there has a peak issue going on, whatever.
it is funny how vague the vocabulary is though, because battery plant has multiple locations, could be a manufacturing facility, and then battery storage facility. To some people, it implies that it's a storage facility where you store batteries.
Yeah.
I guess it's sort of true, but not the intent.
That actually is.
It is a big
eco- It's like battery storage, but it's like how to store our batteries.
What's gonna make capacity?
What?
Does anyone know the capacity?
And I think it's 250 megawatts, is that right?
I'm looking at, yeah,
big.
big.
Big battery.
Can I add some other context? that I
Sure.
heard? The town's Ulster town supervisor has said that he's not going to back down from like this opposition group demanding that the project not move forward. And that he's gonna let the secret process move forward. So part of it is like, is there a need for support? Really, or like a need to combat the opposition?
Yeah.
Because it's happening early. Like I haven't found any Ulster opposition from what I can see, just elected being really worried.
Is anything that this
Yeah,
commission.
there's no organized
To
effort.
make that.
Will nobody else?
So there's
lives
nothing we
there?
could do right now, but like once we have more information about what our permitting process is
Right.
and being proactive, there would probably need to be some sort of public information session before any of those changes to the zoning code or to the permitting process even go into effect so that we can inform people of like what the safety standards are and kind of get ahead of it.
By the way, if we think the permitting side of things, is it within scope for that type of action to write guidelines for developers looking to install, right? We say you need to have a community outreach, you need to educate people, you need to make these resources available, right?
I mean, that could theoretically be a pre-step to the permitting process of like, before you submit your stuff. Like,
Right.
you have to do,
Or part of the permit is submit a community outreach plan, something like that.
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think it would be impossible for the city to
That
step
would need to go before planning board.
yeah.
We need to have coverage to move forward.
And look, there's also like, who knows, like I have to have Is the developer like taking the feedback? Are they considering making changes to their design to meet the residents' concerns? Like that's all part of that's all part of the permitting process, right? Like that's all supposed to happen. Like it's like any development, this is the developer's first go at it. And they're submitting it to the town, review it, let us know what you think. And then it's supposed to be consultative. They go back and forth. They're supposed to, present, take the comments, incorporate them, and then hopefully get to a design at the end that everybody's happy with. So I don't know what flexibility there is with this developer's design, like they might have flexibility to increase the setbacks so that it's not. So yeah, I don't know. I have not like listened to the meetings or listened to any of the recording. But it sounds, from what I read briefly and looked at briefly, it sounds like the concern is due to the proximity to a residential neighborhood
And schools.
and the safety to the residential neighborhood. But at the same time, even if they were able to improve that, it could also just be the case where we're just against this technology. It doesn't matter what.
Well, there's nowhere on that site that they could move it to setback or otherwise it would be any different of a distance from residential.
They can make it smaller. Maybe they would, I don't know if that would help.
But
You
shy
should
of
reduce the
having,
amount of containers.
but shy of having a known risk area, to Phil's point, how is that even relevant? Unless there's a known, like, well, within 600 feet,
There is that information.
Oh, there
I do
is.
not know, yes, I do not have it off the top of my head, so I don't want to speak to it, but there has in all of the studies that they've done on these fires post-incident, they've kind of come up with within X amount of feet, this is what you do, within X amount of foot, this is what you do.
there are people living within that space.
Yes. This is new for New York, newer for New York, like there's these systems that have been installed all over the country. In other jurisdictions in California and Texas and lots of other places.
Why don't they install these things on brownfield sites? Like, why are we going to a place that?
Well, this is not. It's an abandoned property.
Right, it's a substation.
It's a good site, it's abandoned property. It happens to be near a residential neighborhood, but it's not a farm, not a greenfield. It's perfectly sited to interconnect to the grid.
And that's the thing is like,
It's not about
substations with available capacity when you find them.
Yeah.
Want to do something with them.
Yeah.
Whether they're,
This is not a good site for solar, it's too small.
Yeah, ideally, it's- anything we build is not near anything.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I would say-
I mean, there's like huge tracts of contaminated land.
yeah.
It's just,
My understanding, I mean, this is solar related, but my understanding of brownfields in general is that they can be hard to develop and like, and
like even with industrial use.
yeah. Like they are tricky. Sometimes like if it's like a landfill, you have to do all of this work like to stabilize the ground and things like that. You have to do all of this environmental remediation there. It's really expensive. And so the EPA has had a brownfield like remediation program for like a decade, and the number of sites that they've developed is just not that high.
I've been working on a brownfield program specifically for developing brownfields in New York State for solar for 4 years. We have one project.
Is it because part of it is cleaning the brownfields?
No, it's because we need to find projects that only have, that really interconnect these projects and there's a cost that is an economical. The interconnection costs for solar PV plus then the cost of trying to develop these sites, which you have to use more expensive construction requirements because you can't penetrate any ground. So, plus all the additional studies you have to do because like when you're doing your environmental studies, you're always gonna come up with issues. So then you have to kind of do additional studies to show that you're not gonna have issues. You do this thing. So anyway, the development costs are expensive and then you add in, the construction costs are more expensive and then you add in what we're finding for interconnection costs in the state. And like, we just can't make them or they're too expensive.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, and then we need to wrap this conversation up.
Yes, I think this also goes back to the NIMBY situation where we've actually seen supporters. There's one of the lead opposition people in Hurley was fighting for electric school buses in the city of Kingston School District. But now she has all this misinformation and she's like, this is going to be built in my backyard and I'm not okay. And Melissa Everett from Sustainable Hudson Valley is actually planning a Yes in My Backyard event for climate solutions in Cousin Valley. She's hoping to invite all local towns for best and have like a best expert speak. And I'll let you all know and give you information about that. But I think why can't we do it somewhere else is then it will be done nowhere, you know, like, and I do feel like we do need to support this, but if it's not through Climate Smart Kingston, I understand that, you know.
Could we invite somebody from the opposition to come here and talk to us?
With what is the role of Climate Smart in this? Is Climate Smart an interested agency?
You know, it is, I mean, Stony Lawn Apartments that's like the major residential community that's next to this location, that's Kingston.
It is.
So there's that big apartment complex, so I guess we do have a bit of a connection.
Yeah.
I think
like,
that
I
would
think
be
it
a quarter
Kingston
mile
would be
for
the
other
benefits for the project, because if it did go through and there was a pilot, the city school district would probably get.
That Tarrytown website says
Would
that.
get payments from the. So I don't know if they've put anything out there in terms of the amount, but there would be. If the project does go through, the city could benefit from annual payments for probably 20 years, a certain amount. Some project doesn't go through, then it won't. I don't know if the school district,
City or the school district?
school district,
The city, Kingston,
the school district.
Kingston City School District in Ulster County. That's what the Tarrytown
Kingston
website
City
says.
School District is different than the city of Kingston.
Oh,
The Kingston City School District is not managed by city government. And it encapsulates like 11 different communities, one of which is the city of Kingston.
Is it a separate, like,
Kingston City
Governmental
School
entity.
District has its own board, one of which the members is at our table. And they have their own government, their own governance, their own budget, their own everything. This administration has no control over the Kingston City School District.
And we have not received the pilot or poster any of those conversations.
Yeah, there's a lane bullet on their website, like communities also may receive ... And then it's just a little bullet point. So I don't think they reached
So
out.
this is gonna be a big issue.
It
already is.
It is.
One way or another, like the city of King, it's like right on the border. It's like a big industrial thing that's right on the city of Kingston's border, even now, the piecing it together, like.
A mess.
On the blocks over from where it's, so wherever the five, blooming.
That's right.
If the town attorney is the lead agency, would the city of Kingston want to be like an interested party?
Well, I don't think that, it's not in Hurley, it's in Ulster.
Oh, sorry.
That's just the opposition group.
The opposition group is from Hurley. The project is in Ulster,
Okay.
and residents that are concerned are in Ulster, Kingston, and Hurley.
So would the city of Kingston want to like follow the proceeding, I guess? Is there a process for that?
I've seen
For just like staying
like
informed?
the older person of the wards that touched this thing, like Stony Run would want to be vocally opposed to this.
They are, you said?
Yeah. So maybe could this commission attempt to have a conversation with? Is that something they would do?
It's open for discussion. The question on the table is, does the commission want to even continue thinking about this?
Can we say, oh, we want Bill to come present to Climate Smart Kingston, and we're gonna invite nearby towns for that presentation? Just extend the offer? Or maybe they wouldn't come. I'm just throwing to the beginning.
To an extent, because it's not in the city, my personal opinion that I would state is that it's gonna be a sticky mess that we're going to get embroiled in if we decide to do that. I think it would be better to, over a longer time frame, carefully think about what the city of Kingston's rules should be for similar facilities and do some outreach and engagement around those rules rather than around this specific project that is already
Yeah.
a concern for many residents.
Learn from the process.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, second.
Yep.
I agree 100%, and I also want to say, I understand that this is a hot topic for this particular group of people in this room, because of this particular group of people in this room are in this industry. And at least half of the people in this room feel very strongly about this, because it's part of your day-to-day careers. But you need to be at this table as a commissioner for the city of Kingston, thinking, how does the role of the Climate Smart Kingston Commission have any involvement in this project? And if it doesn't, maybe that.
Yeah, like I think the city of Kingston has a role in potentially leading like and doing some education around battery energy storage facilities. I don't know that it's our business to,
Not our review.
yeah, it's not our review and it's not.
I would like to submit a motion that we take a vote on your suggestion.
So the motion would be what?
Well, to, what?
To proceed with education? And to not take an action on this?
That's roughly what I said, yeah.
To vote on.
We're just having-
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna do research and due diligence for the city and help the city adopt.
Stay.
And that does not mean, that doesn't mean that every single individual here can't get involved in on their own personal time and as much opposition or whatever the opposition is, proposition. Support. That they want to.
Okay.
Okay.
And you'd like me to put the link to the video of Bill's presentation on the platform.
Yes.
It seems like a good thing for your supporters.
The city of Kingston, when the gas
Okay.
maker plan was proposed.
Yep.
That was outside the city limits.
Yep.
Did Kingston, did the city of Kingston get involved in any,
KingstonCitizens.org did.
or not the city of Kingston in any way?
The
They weren't-
CAC. Kevin, what
This would be the same thing.
yeah,
It's the same idea.
What are you asking me?
for the peaker plant, what
Yeah.
action did we take with the CAC?
Not
Did we
sure
write the letter?
Did the CAC actually appear as an organization or as an entity? I know I appeared, but I was as a private person. John Wackman appeared, but I believe he was a private person too. I don't think this board appeared. Individuals from this board appeared, but I don't think the board itself.
Yeah, I agree. And with the water,
One of the things,
Yeah.
one of the things people should realize is that there's a very strong home rule element in the town of Ulster. When the city of Kingston goes marching into the town of Ulster, Supervisor Quigley is there to run us right out with the town board.
All right,
Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah. I mean, you're getting into home rule stuff and politics.
No, it would be marching
It
in.
was
I think it would be like.
Invite, just trying to, never mind, I won't go, we already made our decision.
okay, we're gonna move on then. Everything else is just reporting, as we've discussed in the past, so. What time is it? 6:30. Outreach and education, environmental and programming, it's been summertime, so summer has been summer camp. We're working with the school district right now to design what the next season will look like. Does anyone have any workforce offer green job reports? No? Comments on the environment, as of the last meeting, I will just update that the location has changed. It is now at Best Western in Kingston. October 24th and 25th. Registration was scheduled to launch today, and as of 6:34, we're not registered, we're not launched yet, but hopefully it will be by tomorrow. But there is a website, nisac.net, that has all the details on it. With the tracks and the keynote speakers and the field trips and lots of great things. So I suggest folks check out nisac.net for that conference. building decarb and electrification and thermal energy network work is ongoing. I don't really have anything to report on those. The municipal solar installation, the pool is complete. So we ended up putting 50 kW on that building, which is amazing because I put 50 kW on the Andy Murphy Center. And the pool building is super small. And then the Albert Brown Community Center, formerly known as Roundup Neighborhood Center, installation will be happening this month. I don't have any updates on CCA, but community solar, we did have a ribbon cutting at the New Windsor facility. And so all the folks who've been signing up for community solar in the city of Kingston in the last year or so are now receiving credits from that. The city is an anchor tenant at that location. So that is one location that is highly supporting the city of Kingston with community solar. We're excited about that. And I don't have anything for hydrogen. Great.
Standard H2 Corporation met with county legislator Chris Hewitt, and they described the actual program and in a sort of in a nutshell. They want to use hydrogen. We're thinking of hydrogen, but we discussed hydrogen here. We discussed it only as the fuel for automobile, right? But they are looking at hydrogen as a battery, using it as a battery, storing hydrogen. So that when the grid, same thing,
Lithium ion.
storing hydrogen when the grid needs it, apply it to the grid. And that's basically their concept. If you produce hydrogen and recharge EVs, that's it.
Okay. City fleet transition, we're getting close to the PO and contract are nearly signed on the dotted line for purchasing the 2 electric Packers. I don't know if you have any other fleet stuff that we've got.
DPW is still in the process of they're going to apply there for they're buying an electric vehicle. Yeah. And one of our electric vehicles has passed the threshold of being like saving on greenhouse gas emissions relative to like plug-in hybrid, and gas powered, diesel powered. So that's a great moment. We've had our first breakthrough.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many years did that take?
It's 2017. So yeah. So it takes a while. We don't drive our cars very much. So for a sedan, it's like 20,000 miles. So pretty exciting.
8 years to drive for as well.
Yeah. Well, these things that did not go.
Oh, that's one of the school resource officers, one of the police.
Oh,
It's an SRO car, so they just basically sit at KHS all the time.
yeah. Yeah.
EV infrastructure, the Deep Stadium, level 2, bid has been awarded to, plug-in stations online, and they will be doing that installation, this fall. And the level 3 charging station award, contract isn't complete yet, so I'm still waiting on that. Clean mobility, my understanding is that maybe the report is almost done.
Yeah, we saw like a formatted draft of it. And it should be done in the next couple of weeks, and then applying for the second phase. So this is for a shared bike system in the city that has predominantly e-bikes that will hopefully be set up next year. If we get the phase, the money for the second phase, sort of installation, all that stuff. So that's really cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Community preservation fund is continuing to get funded, whatever the word is, fire funded. And I think we're up over 100,000 at this point. I don't have the number in front of me, but it's continually growing because sales are selling. We're selling in Kingston, so that's good. Repair cafe, but there was one in June.
Actually, before we move on, I think we were gonna talk about the comprehensive.
Oh, mentioned it or before, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is there more information that you need from it?
No, you said
Okay.
it's starting sometime
Yes.
next year.
Yes.
Okay.
Repair cafe?
There's actually two,
One
one in June and one in August.
Cool.
And, I don't have the data from the June one on the top of my head, but it went really well.
Yeah.
August also went really well. Jake was spearheading the August Cafe, assisting. So we got to do a lot of the front work, because I couldn't be there for the whole thing. And we're still processing the data from that one.
One great that we had, I think, 100 people. Working on.
Went every single category,
Yeah.
except knife sharpener, which is like
We're having to really identifying a nice sharpener.
doll restraining,
Doll restraining?
Yeah, it's a thing.
What's a
It's
doll?
What's
There's like there's a type of old doll, not like plastic doll, but like old, I don't know, China or like
Creepy
hard.
dolls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
metal dolls.
Creepy dolls,
That
yeah.
are connected inside by like a metal pole with wires that strings the limbs. You know, just like, wow, you need really special tools to restring like inside of a ceramic arm to the thing.
So this is a
So.
basketball?
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to think so, like the first, our first cafe she came to, she had like one person.
It's one of those beautiful dolls in the earlier
Yeah.
time of summer, because I can pretend I have
Because
it.
people had them for generations. The first cafe she was at, like one or maybe people came and she was kind of good. So we made a bigger marketing effort about dollar streaming for the next one. And then she had, there wasn't a line at the door, but like 3 or 4 like.
She is busy for
Yeah.
the most of the
Yeah.
cafe. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the new man does guitar repair. Specifically guitar, he restrings the guitars. And also plays medleys if he's not busy. That's nice.
Yeah.
There's like restraining going on.
Oh, and the bike. We had the bike clinic, which for a while we did not have because YMCA was doing their separate program. And now Tom Polk, who retired from YMCA, comes and he said that our cafe, he gets more bike repairs at the repair cafe than he does at the YMCA bike clinic.
Oh,
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
so very popular,
You know what I
very
excited?
exciting.
Restrung, I need my weed whacker restrung. I don't-
Our welder does, gardening.
Melissa, you know what we might be able to get help with is we have been workshopping and iterating on our ticket system for how we get people to the right coaches for the past, I don't know, 6 months. The way we do it now is we've got like 8 different sets of colored popsicle sticks, numbered from 1 to 20. So people come in and they sign in. We say maximum 2 items per try. If you have more than 2, you can wait and let me in. But so instead of for, either 1 item or 2 items in different categories, we give them a numbered popsicle stick of each of those colors. And then we just have to kind of keep in our heads who is waiting, right? Who has what number
Write it
of
down.
popsicle, write it down on the thing. And then when we bring the people with the one number to the table and we cross out the list, it's better than just everyone waiting in a big pile of chairs, which is what it was before. But I would say only by a little bit, because it does end up with people getting skipped, or like I hand out number 6 and then I hand out number 7 and I forget the 6 is in the thing, so I bring number 7 over and then number 6 is word. So if anyone has,
Had colored sticky notes that were a different color for each thing, and then you.
Popsicle sticks are colored.
Yes, but then you wrote a number on the sticky note.
Oh, colored sticky note to separate.
Yeah, to
Instead of
separate the
having it on one
categories,
paper.
and then,
Yeah, I will say, Jake, this
how does that
was,
differ?
I don't know, maybe it's not, maybe I misunderstood.
it's to clearly make sure, like, you put, okay, green, but there's a lot of nuance to this conversation thing because, like, we have a sewing machine repair coach, which is one color, and a zipper repair coach, which is one color, and a, jewelry repair, which is another color. But if one of those people's not there, the zipper repair coach does also sewing machine repair. So she can then combine and then the whole color system goes out the window. I will say that we've literally there's been a chat in the facilitator, Hudson Valley Cats, that's what it's called, Repair Cafe Cats. No cafe has been able to figure out a system that works 100%.
What we really like, my ideal scenario is that we have like a airplane hangar, like a warehouse.
Pick people up and move them.
Right. like monster thing, we have like, a different waiting area for each category. And then if that was the case, then we just line them up according to the order that they came in, and that'd be pretty easy. But we have these two church basins, they're not that big. So it's sort of a fascinatingly complex logistical problem. So if anybody has any ideas for how to improve, we'd love to.
Yeah, and it's like, I just do it by memory, and so does Jem, but if there's someone else at the registration table, there needs to be a system there for people to help out, and.
Have you asked ChatGPT?
Not done that. Good idea.
Yeah, and a manual system that's not digital.
Yeah,
If there's an ecosystem that we could use with like a smartphone and a laptop.
but
Obviously,
there's like demographic,
type thing. What kind?
the thing is,
If there was a QR code.
but the demographic of Repair Cafe,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
some of them don't have phones, they don't know how to use their phones.
No, I'm not saying phones. I'm saying like when you order something at Smoothie King or wherever, and they're like,
A screen,
"Hey,
like that.
operation, Julie Noble." Yes.
Like a
Yeah,
TV.
Right, you get the
Yeah,
TNT.
they do.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
but we don't have like a TV screen.
But yeah, let's talk about maybe a slideshow, which we can edit live and then be like, okay, this number is next or something.
What about a mic with a speaker? Just have like, like you go to like a dim sum place, just somebody just yelling the entire time.
Well,
So essentially, it's less the communication of who is next and who is up that's an issue than the actual keeping track of that.
what?
Why can't the person who's the sewist just say, "Okay, number 7."
We can't make it up.
Yeah. They're doing it.
They're very in their zone and also like, there's so much about it. They're like, sometimes somebody gets 2 sticks for 2 different categories. So then they go sit down for one category, they have that other stick.
Yeah.
They're not in the waiting room.
Right.
And then you have to monitor the room and be like, okay, well, where'd number 6 go? Are they on the floor?
So then we skip them, move on to 7, and then 7's done, and we're like, okay, number 8, you're up. And number 6 is like, wait a minute, I've been here.
I don't
all day.
It's hard to keep track of. And this one lady, she was just standing there, and some people come to just look around the room and be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm checking it out.
Yeah.
So I thought she was doing that, but she had a number and she just wasn't in the waiting area, and I skipped her several times. And then I went up there and like,
I know,
"Can I help
that
you?"
I would love learning.
What?
This is like the exact kind of like strategy that I would love.
We would love your help, Charlie.
If you could figure it out. Yeah, we need something that's for an older crowd that,
I'll tell you what they do at pickleball at Lauren Park.
oh,
Because there's a lot of people that are waiting and there's 4 different courts and no one, to know where they're going next. So you have your own pickleball thing. So you could do this with a popsicle stick that says Julie Noble or whatever. And you play and now you're done. And there's a wall. I mean, there's the fence. And you put your paddle into the fence. And the next person that comes puts the paddle next to you.
Hmm.
And so that as you
Okay,
take, and when
yes.
you're up, you take your paddle and you go, which means,
But there's also issues because like, depending on the coach, like, some coaches work on clocks, some coaches do not. Like, some coaches, like we have 5 electromechanical coaches and we'll decide who to send them to, or sewists. One sewist is hand sewing, one sewist is machine, and if they have a quilt, they have to go to a machine, they can't go to a hand, you know what I mean? So it's,
What if they get one popsicle stick at a time? And as soon as their one item is done, they have to just.
that would take forever though.
try to come to the next one, because I love
Yeah.
going to places and being like, this is not how this should be.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, we got a comment from Socrates, the organizer, one of the organizers came from there. And they said, you are very organized and this is an amazing
Maybe you're.
cafe, but
As
we're
someone who
trying to
prides
make it.
himself on logistical, figuring out logistical things, the popsicle stick thing was my idea, thank you very much in the beginning. I would say it's working fine. It's working okay, but it would be
There's
great if
some-
it could work better.
There's some tweaks that could be,
Well, what's the next?
October 18th, and it's actually International Day of Repair.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we're gonna do something we'll talk about, like having live music or doing something
That'd be so
kind
cool.
of better.
Just
Not-
an FYI for you, I can't be
There
there.
we go. I'm in room.
I can be there.
Oh, great, yeah, this one is at Clinton United Methodist Church in Midtown.
In where?
Clinton United Methodist in Midtown, and it's from 11.
I'd like to help, and are there people who could fix like a VHS player or a tape player?
What's wrong?
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't work.
We've had, people bring in those before. One time there was a jelly bean stuck in one of them. Problem, I'm not sure, depending on the problem. We always say like, if you can carry it, come in and we'll at least try to diagnose it. Yeah, but we do have a flyer on what categories we're gonna have. So like sometimes the electronics person can't come, and so you don't wanna come out. If they're not. So look at our Facebook page, look at it. What was the question?
Yeah, they resolved it.
11, right?
What?
11.
11 trivia.
Oh, that's great.
And Anthony is a wonderful electrician.
Awesome.
But he
Stick. When they, like, they get a green popsicle stick for the zipper, do they leave the green popsicle stick at the zipper?
We
stick?
ask them to bring it back. Often they will not. Sometimes they walk out with it, and I have to make new ones. And then other times the coach brings it back to us.
That's like writing down the number.
Like this
Yeah.
is 6, and then the coach could just say, okay, number 6, 7, green.
Or what if you had like a
But when
styrofoam
there's
thing,
5 coaches at
where
a
they
table.
stick it in the styrofoam thing?
Who does?
They use the guest, so they go to the zipper, they stick the popsicle stick in the styrofoam. And then they get their zipper fixed. Then you just see that, oh, there's 3 sticks of
The church room is
styrofoam.
really big.
Okay, alright, okay.
The larger.
So the shouting wouldn't necessarily reach to the thing, and then it's like, well, yeah, it's
So see, if
We
you
have
had
like 15
CCTV,
coaches at once.
Right,
So
right,
right, there's like 12 people. Yeah.
Around. But Julie said she's gonna assess the. We'll figure it out.
We would love to see it, it's a fun problem.
It's fun,
It's actually a tremendous amount of fun. I've been to a couple of them.
and that's a great help.
They're amazing.
All right, excellent. Anything else for repair cafe? Well done, team. Refrigerant management program, I don't know. Phil, do you have any update on that? Do you know where that is?
we're coming to the end of the inventory, so that's good.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then the next stages, the consultants have been really good so far, so next stages, we'll see what happens.
How much work has it been for you guys?
I think there was more legwork than I expected, but in terms of anything beyond that, I haven't had to do anything. I've just had to walk around a lot. So we went to every single appliance that is in the city of Kingston, in the city of Kingston's municipal buildings that had refrigerants in it, and like put a little sticker on it, documented and all that stuff. So
And the vehicle part has been harder though.
yeah, I haven't been part of that really.
Yeah, I think the vehicle part is a little bit more complicated because as we've seen, even just with the work that Phil does with like fleet management system, when you go from no system to figuring out a system, systems change is hard, and also just knowing what you have is hard when it's not uniformly stored, managed, like when there's massive amounts of people and systems. So this is all a process to make our systems better, but it is. We're still on the timeline that we thought we would be on this. Great. Kingston Organics, as I mentioned, I went before the council last month to get permission to buy the trucks and accept the funding to move forward with Kingston Organics. They will be voting on that tomorrow, which I hope will be favorable. And if so, we will purchase the trucks Friday morning, with the hope that we would start in the beginning of next year for the coach.
And then.
Oh, that would be for residents.
Sidewalk.
Yes.
First idea.
If anyone can't wait for the outcome, it's probably in the discussions they had last week.
I heard that the discussion wasn't great.
Oh,
Wait, what?
I heard the discussion last night was not favorable for organics.
For organics or for the electric packers?
Not sure. I haven't listened. I've only heard third party, so I am someone that will probably not watch the video because I will get angry about it. So I will wait and see.
so I would recommend if anyone here feels strongly about that to watch that, if you were able to have time to do so, maybe attend and Public comment?
Is that something the commission? could
Yes,
do?
absolutely.
So
You can watch the video for the YouTube video from last night. It's at the end of the
which
video.
meeting was this?
This was the Common Council
Common Council.
caucus. I was told at the end there was a discussion about organics. And then they will be voting on it tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Here,
Tomorrow night.
And seven.
So we all show up, like anybody,
So
people show
would we
up.
show up as just like a resident of Kingston, or would we say I'm a resident and I'm a member of?
You would say you're a resident unless the commission decides to take a position on it.
I mean, we
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, like, that's the thing, if we take a position in support of it and put something together to go to the meeting tomorrow. Like, can we do a quick letter and submit it?
That's.
A letter by tomorrow,
What?
by tomorrow, I don't.
I mean, if we vote, if we make a recommendation, resolution to support it, to support the city of Kingston adopting to start residential composting.
Food scraps diversion.
Yes,
is there
we can figure out, I mean, I think we could, if we come up with what we want to say and agree to it, we could get
Is it worth it?
submitted by tomorrow, or boilerplate information language we could use.
Don't have a boilerplate.
even just for this type of letter with subject matter?
Could we vote on it and then write it?
You could. Yes, the short answer to that is yes.
Yeah, just, it helps to know like what the hang up is.
Do you have to submit something for the council?
You have to sign up to speak.
No, but for them to talk about it, what did you submit, what was submitted?
I had to submit a communication to the council, which then goes to a specific committee. In this case, it went to finance. And the finance committee needed to, that they asked was to accept the grant that I received and to set up a capital project to be able to use the funding from the grant to pay for 2 electric garbage trucks and the electric vehicle charging stations. What I was told briefly was that the discussion last night got beyond just the trucks and the electric vehicle charging stations and got to whether or not we should be doing the composting at all. I mean, the food scraps diversion at all.
I wonder if any of the people who sit on that council participate in the program.
I have no idea.
Why?
Okay.
So we got the grant already. The grant is,
We have been awarded the grant. But if they vote against accepting the grant
and that's it.
or against using the funds, of course, to pay for the trucks, that would essentially stop phase 2. It wouldn't stop what's currently happening unless they're trying to do that. I don't know. I have not listened to, nor do I know the details of what was discussed. Nor do I know what will happen tomorrow night, frankly, and I will say this for the record, I think there's a lot of grandstanding that. So,
I mean, I think we should definitely try to put in something,
Something,
just officially say that we are in support of this.
support of it.
And
Yeah.
that we're in support of phase 2
Right,
and the acquisition of.
so
Absolutely.
do we have like a template for a letter that one would write to present or send to the Common Council office?
well, is someone going to speak it or send it?
I can't attend tomorrow night.
Okay.
That's Saturday.
Yeah.
I can't either, I have class. I can.
Yeah,
For champion.
Do you participate in the program? In the composting program? I would if it was drop off.
It is drop off.
You mean, it's,
I would if it was.
we came to your house.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a-
Yeah, I
No,
know too,
really.
they came to my house.
I don't have the time to drop it off myself, and so if it was part of the regular collection, I would absolutely
The
participate.
only reason I've been hauling my dog goes to the drop off site the whole time is add volume so that there would be. It's.
For how many days too?
Mine are so,
Yeah, like words, the compost
Yeah,
in our
me too.
refrigerator, and then
Right.
when that gets too obscene, it goes into the freezer. That's when we finally drop it off.
And that's,
Yeah.
it's like trying to bring it in the fridge and we started doing it on our counter and then it would get moldy and then
It has
it's
to
like,
be
why? So like drop off or pick up is so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
In your city doesn't
Right,
break
so
up now.
Right.
So that's a huge, example.
Okay, so I would like,
should we make a motion?
yeah. Let's make a motion to officially support phase 2 of Kingston Organics. Is
Yeah.
that how this works?
Yeah.
Great.
I'd like to call that motion.
I would like.
He's already
doing.
He's going on it.
Fine, I want a second, I want a second
Is
motion.
there any discussion?
My discussion is, do you have a template for a letter that we could write?
Because we can write a letter between now and tomorrow and I can read it at tomorrow's meeting if.
Maybe if I have, like,
Or an example of one that was.
Wrote in support of the
Yeah.
packaging reduction.
We could use that as a template.
Use that as the
Is
template.
that the same body?
Oh yeah, the pollution plastic.
Yeah.
I think just making sure we say it's in alignment with the climate act and the scoping plan and states under.
We already have money for it.
So usually when I give public comment, I state that I'm here on my personal capacity and not any of the other acts, like, should we just maybe give permission to give comment in our
Yeah,
capacity?
representing Cat as a representative of Kingston.
Yes.
So I'm just looking at the minutes, and so you sent an email on August 11th to the committee, to the council, basically saying what you requested. So could we just copy and paste that language and say that we support the request?
you can.
Well, is there enough flexibility tomorrow for them to say, yes, we want the curbside pickup, but no, we don't want the capital expense of purchasing the electric vehicles?
But they're great.
Like, is all that together?
No,
Okay,
well, the reason this, and I don't want to get into the politics of this, but it gets blurry because means and methods are not the authority of the legislative branch. They can say, we authorize you to buy these trucks, but they can't say on Fridays, you're gonna use the truck to do this, or you're not gonna use the truck for organics. They can say, we're authorizing you to buy the trucks to farm. They can't say, executive branch, you're not going to offer a Kingston Organics program. But they can say, but we're not taking the grant, we're not giving you the money for the trucks, figure it out some other way.
right. Interesting.
In which case, by default, through their authority, we would then be in the pickle of being like, well, how the heck are we gonna do that?
So they sort of they can say whatever they want to say tomorrow. Like, it's not like they're voting on a specific thing or something like that.
They are voting tomorrow or not on the specific committee report that says they hereby authorize to expend in the first instance the Kingston Organics Phase 2 grant and to establish a capital project in the amount of $1,087,000 to expend to buy 2 electric packers and pay for 2 years of electric vehicle charging stations.
So they're
They are either voting for that or against it or sending it back to committee.
What does pay for 2 years of electric vehicle charging station?
We are intent is to buy 2 electric packers. And to do so, I need to get 2 charging stations that we're putting at DPW dedicated to those packers
Okay, so the expense of the charging stations is included
in the request.
okay.
It has an estimated.
I just wasn't sure what you meant by
This has an estimated financial impact of $0 because I have full grant funding.
oh, so the electric packers and stuff are still covered by the grants.
And the bonds that we already have.
Oh, damn. Okay. I don't even understand what yeah.
We have to watch the minute.
That's why.
Yeah, we have to write
somebody
minutes,
needs to
exactly.
watch the show from like.
Are we writing a letter or are we sending?
I would like to read from a letter that we have agreed upon.
Yeah.
Okay, then
So-
I am on vacation starting today, so I can write it tomorrow. And I would love to draft something and send it to you guys.
Yeah.
Before noon.
Send you, I can just. and link to the meeting minutes, if you go to page 37 and 38.
Can you email it to
see-
me?
Yeah, you can see what Julie already submitted,
Okay, great.
and you could just honestly.
Okay.
It's both better.
And the
state,
what
private smart home
Which is
submitted
submitted.
this.
Yeah, supports, yeah, it's in support of
of
this.
phase 2
And when is the meeting tomorrow?
Tomorrow evening at 7 p.m.
Here.
Big
There.
group.
So who does the,
But you have to-
submitted to?
You have to, are you submitting a letter or just speaking it?
I think
If you're speaking,
I'm
you
happy to
have to
speak.
sign up to speak.
Can we do
I-
both?
And you can
Maybe we
submit.
do both, we submit it, and then you're there to speak.
Sure.
Yeah.
But how do you submit a letter?
There is some sort of. By noon,
This
the
is
day
the-
before.
Like, we can
Fast.
It might be the day, I'm not sure.
So
I usually show up at like for 3 minutes. And it's-
you've spoken in front of the town council.
Yeah,
Nice.
was it scary?
yes, every time.
Yeah.
You do have to state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, that's weird that they ask for your address in a public meeting. But okay. Thank you. Can we just do zip code? Obviously, it's on the internet anyway.
Yeah, zip code wouldn't work, unfortunately.
You submit a letter
People are
at the meeting.
loose about it and they.
Is that?
You submit a letter at the meeting. You can walk in and just.
Oh, it's at 7:30.
Okay.
No, it's a 7.
It says 7? Okay,
The Kingston website is a 7.
okay. Does it say anything about speaking, public speaking?
No.
Good to know.
It also does not say, is this a local law? No. I do propose
No, it's a
resolutions.
resolution. Oh, speakers, if a speaker wishes to speak to the virtual platform, they can sign up by emailing by 12 p.m.
Okay.
Okay, so then you don't need to do that if you're doing it live.
Okay, great.
You only have 3 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
I can read quickly.
Okay, so we have an open motion on the table and there's been discussion. Does that modify the motion?
Yes, the motion is to send Kat Carroll as an official representative of the Plymouth North Kingston to the Common Council caucus meeting,
Common Council general meeting.
general meeting, thank you, to verbally deliver the letter in support of phase 2 of Kingston Organics, which we will also submit in writing to the Common Council.
Is that seconded?
Second.
No,
Second.
you already have.
Second.
You
Oh,
seconded it before.
I still second it.
Okay, is there any others?
Who's first and who's second? This
Jake-
is starting to sound
Jake-
like Abbott Costello here.
Jake and Hyatt.
Jake. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Yeah, we were getting the who's on first routine.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Good.
all in favor?
Actually, who wants to receive a draft of the letter?
Hey, I can.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to receive one?
No.
Okay, all right.
All in favor? Anyone opposed or abstaining? Excellent, thank you.
Do we want, how is this exactly worded? What I picked up is to deliver adopting phase 2 residential composting. To deliver a recommendation to adopt. Is that correct?
By a written letter and then also
Oh,
Kat
yeah.
Carroll will read the letter
Yeah.
and present the meeting.
And how about purchasing the vehicles?
That is phase 2 of Kingston Organics.
That's all in
Yeah.
there, so I don't have to reference that separately.
And if I Google
Okay.
Common Council General Meeting September 2nd, I'll get the YouTube video.
Hold on a
Yes.
second.
Just as a general thing, I think the members of the committee, which committee was this here? Finance and Audit signed off on this. There's
They unanimously.
Okay, that's
That's it.
5 votes. I see 5 votes. Are they gonna flip?
Which committee?
finance and audits.
What's
Yeah, if
the,
you got 5 votes, I think you carry the the day at the council, don't you?
Common council holds the purse strings. That's their
Yeah.
job. And
When did they
it's-
sign off on it?
At the
No,
finance,
only the committee signed off on it, so the vote is tomorrow.
and there are 5 people there, and there are 9 people that vote for the common
Right.
council. People can change their vote.
So far that, yeah, but that has been known to happen. Yeah, there have been U-turns for sure.
So basically, the way it works is that it goes to committee, the committee, I do my dog and pony show with the committee, they vote. In this case, they voted unanimously, that's 5 of them. It then goes to caucus, which was last night. Caucus is like the, let's powwow and talk about each of the things. What do y'all think about this? Hey, I know you guys weren't on that committee, but we talked about this. This is something we're gonna vote on tomorrow night. What do we think? Okay, let's blah, blah, blah. That's what happened last night, as caucus, it's like the prep. And then the full council votes at the council meeting. Normally it's 2 nights in a row, but in this case, because of Labor Day, it all got thrown off. So between finance and the council meeting, people can keep their vote, maintain their vote, they can change their vote. They can also send it back to committee. So someone would have to make a resolution, say, I would like to send this resolution back to committee, which means they will not vote on it and it will go back to committee.
So is this something that we should mention? Or is that?
You should mention, at the finance meeting, it was voted unanimous.
Yeah. Okay.
It's good, the specific name is a finance/audit committee of the common council.
Okay,
Is there any idea what the opposition is about?
Here,
We'll watch the video.
it's not really been
yeah,
my
we should
fault.
watch the video.
I can't wait to watch.
Reality TV.
Yeah, really.
All right, we're gonna move on. Food system
I
policy.
do have a quick
Okay,
question.
go ahead.
Question.
Yeah.
How, was there any conclusion on how I sign up to public comment, or do I just?
You don't have
Put your
to.
thing on.
Please write your name on a sheet when you arrive.
Okay,
Because you're in person, there's no sign required.
okay, so I just write my name on a sheet and then they
Would
call.
you need to go on who you submitted the written letter to though?
Oh, answer to that. You,
I thought Kat was just gonna read the.
It's
Which is for both.
Oh.
Letter submitted, we want to have access to support, so.
I'm sure we can figure it out.
a letter to the common council is supposed to go to, Andrea.
Yeah.
that's the process that we have in council,
Right.
but it might need to go to the clerk's office. I don't know the answer. You might have to look that up.
Okay, the 5 people who sit on the finance and audit, that's a subcommittee of the
Common council.
common council. Okay, so 5 of 9 voted yes in August.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
All right, I don't have anything on the food systems policy.
I do.
Great.
So they're hoping to have it released, very soon. I'm expecting to hear more about it, September 17th at the Live Well Kingston Commission. But right now, it's, they're hoping to have a draft release so they can have public comment on it. That's where that is.
Who is they?
The city's health and wellness.
Okay.
Department.
Okay, the waterfront projects are still in contract negotiation, flooding response. I don't have any, oh, yes, I do have an update. Since the last meeting, we now have a live stream gauge on the Rondout Creek. So it is a USGS stream gauge. It is live. You can go on to the, if you have an app, I don't know what it's called, I can pull it up right now, tell people. If you go to waterdata.usgs.gov and you search for Rondout Creek, you will find it and you will see live photos and data and historic photos and data of the current flood stage, which means the height. It does not have the flow or velocity, it has the stage, the height of the water. So if you want to know how high the water is at the creek, you can check it out.
You say USDA.gov?
USGS, US Geological Survey, USGS, waterdata.usgs.gov. You'll be looking for the Rondout Creek at Rondout, New York.
That's cool. They call it Rondout, New York. I like that a lot.
It's true. I didn't have any input into that, but that's very funny.
I feel like we're working off some ancient map.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And I don't have any updates with the North Street demos. Still in contract negotiations on that.
Julie, can I ask you whatever happened with the dock? Rhonda.
Oh, yeah, it should be installed well, it'll be completely built by November and it will be installed in the spring.
Great.
So we employed the word safe, which is a ADA, dock company that just does ADA docks.
Okay.
And, we're still working through the contract with them, so.
That's a kayaking dock, right?
Yep.
Thanks.
There's no new business, I see
Oh,
that.
I do actually have just, it's not really this, I guess it's more of an announcement.
Okay, go ahead.
So state is currently developing a new energy plan. And they've released a draft. And so there's an opportunity for public comment on the draft, to do October 6th. They're also doing like public presentations and hearings on the draft in every region of the state. So they're doing a presentation in our region in Poughkeepsie on September 16th. At 10. You can join virtually or you can go in person. It's at SUNY Dutchess from 5 to 7. So someone will be there presenting the draft energy plan for the state. And then we'll listen, ask questions. And if you want to, you can submit comments. So I just wanted to raise awareness that I don't know if the commission ever
On a state plan?
state plan ever reviews them. Have you all submitted comments in the past?
CAC definitely does. I don't know, we
Conservation
have,
Advisory Council?
Yeah.
CAC.
this board has for like a state, like the what?
The scoping plan?
I was gonna say the,
Or is still being pulled?
uh,
I think it would be interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna actually plug, I'm supposed to gauge interest if people anywhere in Kingston and other surrounding towns are interested in like meeting the night before to organize and have food and prepare comments, or if you want carpool down on the day of, and my city's gonna try to plan one or the other.
Is the presentation separate from the public hearing or is the presentation then here? Like same day?
It's the same
I
day.
think it's the same thing.
Okay,
They present and then
and then they take comments.
take comments.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all that 2-hour slot.
Okay.
And then there's virtual, there's like statewide, there already was one
September
virtual.
16th.
There's another one, the 13th, I think of September, virtual, and then written comments
Yeah.
are through October 6th.
Yeah.
Anybody interested in having a state energy plan party?
That's fun.
when is it? When was the date?
The actual hearing on Poughkeepsie is the 16th. The planning meeting could be the 15th.
I have a volunteer day that I get to use at work every year that I haven't used it this year yet. So
Oh.
I want to have a party to watch you read your letter.
well, we have YouTube.
It will be
Yeah.
live. You're gonna watch it live.
Try not to say anything off script, something I'm not good at. but-
So Jake and Kat.
I think I would be more comfortable not participating in that.
Yeah.
than that I would participate.
Yeah, I don't think I can participate.
But I would support.
I support you all.
Okay. Gather
Engage it.
input.
Yeah.
I'll let you know, Jake.
Cool.
Any other announcements? We need to decide on social media postings and also about the September 24th meeting. So since we modified this month to September 3rd to accommodate for last month, we could either, basically a few options: one, keep the September 24th meeting as scheduled. Two, not meet again until October 22nd. Or, I mean, I guess there's only an option, but those would probably be the two best options.
I may or may, I probably won't make the one on the 24th.
I was gonna make one on the 20th.
Right?
I would be joining virtually.
Three,
Yeah,
not.
I probably won't be able to go.
Yeah.
It's climate week. It's
Fourth.
Sounds like
If there's even a question of not having quorum, I don't want.
That is not. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could ask this question later, but it would be helpful to have a working session for like the objectives that we came up with earlier.
Yeah.
But we can either coordinate that after or just via email.
do we want to take that time on the 24th as our working
Well,
session?
it sounds like Emily will.
Oh, yeah, right.
So I would vote for moving the meeting to October then.
Just canceling the
That would be
24th.
canceled.
Canceling September.
Okay, is there anyone that would be opposed to that? All right, so our next meeting will be October 22nd. Is there anyone that knows they will not be there?
I will not be there.
You will not be there.
No, and bet it's probably neither. There's a reception in Albany that night.
Anyone else?
You wanna
Or
go
the
to
Ace
the,
Conference?
oh shit, that's the Ace Conference, the Ace Conference, yeah.
Three.
I don't have that on my calendar yet.
So I
Do the 29th.
but I still have, if everyone else comes, I'll still have, we will still,
Without that,
without, well, no, wait, yeah, without three of you. I still think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of. I only need 6 and I would have 7 if everyone else came. Okay, so we are going to hold the meeting on the 22nd unless I hear from other people that we don't know that more. Social media postings. Gonna post the best group thing. Okay. Anything else? Erica
you
Cafe.
can plus for a cafe, great. I think that's only gonna be a cafe right now, but. Fine.
Okay. All right, is there any other business? No. We need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Can we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
7:22, Anthony and Jake. All
Okay, we got it.
right,
Okay.
thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Right.
Great.